Transfers. We're back in that season and we are needing clarity on what the hell is going on. Well, it seems like today we've actually got clarity when it comes to the defenders at Chelsea Football Club. So we're going to go through all of it, but make sure you guys are here later on tonight where I give my preview for tomorrow's final, Chelsea versus Everton. Now, I say final because if you had watched my Champions League final place predictions from yesterday, you can go check that out here if you haven't done so already, then you know where I've come to a conclusion. There are still many fans, though, which, to be fair, on one side of the spectrum, right, it's not over till the fat lady sings. I get that. Yeah, it's not over till it's over. I get that. As long as there's still mathematical possibility, yeah. This is where you can agree to disagree. Everyone has their perspective. Personally, I like to add a bit of realism. I like to dream when there's something to strive for. For me, Champions League should be just a standard minimum. We're not there, unfortunately, so we're clutching at straws. But all of that will be explained even further in my preview later on, because Maresca decided to say a few things today, but I'm not going to talk about that now. I'm going to talk about that in the preview because that was for the press conference. So let's get cracking. What's the latest with the Chelsea defenders? We've got about 65,000 defenders, and it seems like we now know who's being sold, who's going on loan, who's staying. So let's jump right into it. Starting off with Levi Colwill. So we have Chelsea's plan for Levi Colwill. Sources speaking anonymously to The Athletic to protect relationships insist the England international is not for sale. Now, I'm not surprised here. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sold at some point. But I feel like even Chelsea right now believe that Levi Colwill can still reach higher. Personally, I think what we have seen from Levi Colwill is not the best that he can do, but I think he's shown his level. I think any player will add that little bit more if the circumstances around him are right, if he's got a good blend with others, if he's in form, all those things. If he's got a manager that suits him, I got to be honest, I think the way Levi Colwill is playing at the moment doesn't suit. Well, Maresca doesn't suit Levi Colwill too well. I think Levi Colwill has been struggling in terms of form. I don't think he's been playing well. I think he's been susceptible to too many mistakes. Some people would say that's because of the system. I wouldn't say I'm against that. And I think if you put a monster, a proper top centre-back next to Levi Colwill, it helps him, which we don't have. So there's restrictions all over the place. Levi Colwill, I feel like could go for good money at the moment, and there's already a rumour that Bayern Munich might be interested. Again, we'll see what happens there. We'll see if that one will materialise. But apart from that, if he does go to Bayern Munich, what, 40, 45 million maybe? I don't see any more than that. I think there's scope for more. Some would say sell him because of what we've seen this season. I get it. And some would say don't. He can reach higher. I get it. So that's that. That's Levi Colwill. Let's jump into some others as I obviously get the shades on. Trevoh Chalobah is for sale. Chalobah will be a different story because Chelsea tried to sell the academy graduate last summer. He has played 27 times for Chelsea and Palace this season. This will help Chelsea's chances of receiving a decent permanent. This was the plan all along. All along was to get him sold. The reason why I'm showing you what I'm showing you from The Athletic today is because everything they're saying this time makes sense. The plan was to get rid of him initially. We couldn't. He went on loan to Palace. Okay, then we were stuck. We need defenders. Crap. Okay, bring him back. Despite how he was treated, what, you think we're just going to keep him? No. Now, personally, again, similar to Levi Colwill, I wouldn't mind having Chalobah, someone that is playing a supporting role, that is developing, that is going to hopefully become maybe a main player later on. Is he there at that point now? No. Have we had to rely on him? Yes, because our levels have been depleted. That's all we could rely on. I have no doubt Chalobah cares. I think he's a great professional. I think he puts his all in. He doesn't make too many errors. Not to say he's perfect, he's not. But the fact that we've had to rely on a Trevoh Chalobah in the first place just shows you how the levels have plummeted at the football club. That shouldn't be the case. Yeah, he shouldn't be put in that position. But the plan is to always sell him, and that will be pure profit. So that is Trevoh Chalobah. Now, let's move on. What else is there? Here it is. Axel Disasi and Renato Vega are for sale. As part of the agreement with Disasi's advisors, Chelsea promised to work together to find a permanent transfer for him in the next window. Chelsea are likely to listen to offers for Vega to make a sizable profit. You see, this one, this for me makes zero sense. On a footballing level, makes zero sense. On a financial level, it will equal profit. Disasi we shouldn't have got in the first place. This guy's clearly not ready to play for Chelsea Football Club. Clearly. Somewhere where there's a little less pressure. Somewhere where, again, you have to maybe add the system. Disasi's not someone that needs to be in a possession-based team. It's just not going to happen. The guy, with all due respect, he's a big guy. He moves like a truck. Yeah, and he still gets played right back. I don't know why managers decide to go with this suicidal thought. I don't know. Renato Vega, this one is an interesting one because what happened? What happened to the... actually, when I do this, what does this mean? You probably can't tell. If you've been around the kitchen, you might know what this means. You know when you sharpen knives? Have you seen that? Yeah? 2 knives? Well, 1 knife and 1 sharpener. Yeah. Well, this guy was brought in as a Swiss Army knife, wasn't he? Who remembers that PR? See, it goes to show. There's a load of things that we get told, which is waffle, crap, PR. Just to paint over and gloss over things and make it look nice, when in reality, it's not even all that. But anyway, we were told, Swiss Army knife, flexible, can play multiple positions. This time last year, he wasn't at our football club. We're already selling him. That's not how you run a football team. For me, that's insane. This is bonkers. But financially, we will get a bit of profit. And for me, that's all I see that the club are really bothered about. Primary concern is the financials. He's gone to Juventus. He's playing. He's flexible. He's playing in various positions. He's getting sold. Brilliant. So that's that. Now, let's move to Acheampong. Chelsea's plan for Acheampong. Acheampong, who was officially promoted from the under-21s in December, is seen as someone who can provide cover at right back and in midfield. No, please don't. Please don't. Let's not. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. No. We've tried this. Look, this is insane. This is actually bonkers. We've tried this with Cucurella. It's worked. We've tried it with Gusto. It kind of worked under Poch. It's not worked under Maresca. We've tried it with Reece James. It's not worked. Straight up. We're going to try it with Acheampong. What are we doing here? What is this obsession with playing fullbacks in midfield? Can we just play fullbacks as fullbacks and midfielders as midfielders? Because some people are going to look at this and go, "Oh no, it's brainy. It's revolutionary. It's pioneering." Yeah, mate, everyone knows about it. This isn't some sort of new information now. Everyone knows. What you think? Managers, oppositions are not preparing. They're not going. Oh no, we know Cucurella is inverting. We're going to come up with a plan to make sure we stop that. What, you don't think anyone is thinking of that? Now, Cucurella actually execute it well. But he's the only exception here. No one else does it well. All it does is it exposes our flank. That's all it does. And we're here trying to pretend that we're doing something. Oh, no one's onto us. Get out of here. Stop kidding ourselves. Let's stop kidding ourselves. This is not as a big deal as it's portrayed to be, or some tactical flipping masterclass that it's portrayed to be. It's really not. It's really not. So I would say, please stop. Please stop. Let's just play players in their positions, please. Midfielders play in midfield. You get the best and you play them there. Fullbacks, you get the best and you play them there. End of story. You know? Now, if there's some tactical flexibility in terms of certain spaces to attack against certain opposition, certain line breakers or certain additions to certain lines in order to maybe outnumber a certain position, that's all in game. But to make that a standard for every game, that's not revolutionary. Everyone knows about that. So I'm against it. Personally, I'm against it. I think it's ludicrous. But Acheampong I would keep. I'm happy with Acheampong, and yes, I want him to stay. So that's that. Now, let's move. Chelsea's plan for Aaron Anselmino. Anselmino, who has been given time to adapt to Chelsea's Cobham training base and living abroad in England since January, will be loaned out next season, and there are interests from Champions League and Europa League clubs. Okay, great. I'll be honest. I don't know too much about the geezer. I know he came back injured and he's been recovering, and that's why he had to come back. Great. Now, if he gets a loan to a Champions League club or something, great. I'm happy for that. I've got nothing else to add. It is what it is. Let's move. Here's more. Chelsea's plan for Benoit Badiashile and Tosin Adarabioyo. Badiashile has been earmarked in the stay at Chelsea category. Tosin could stay, but there is more of a question mark whether he will be content with a backup role. Listen, the fact, I'm going to say this outright, I'm going to be honest and real. The fact that these guys are staying just tells you the levels here. Simple. Tosin's just walked in through the door. Tosin is seen as a senior player. We got him on a free. Some people would say that's a decent deal. Keep him. Personally, I don't think he's our level either, but fair enough. The fact that Badiashile has somehow managed to stick it out this long and remain at Chelsea scares me. If I'm honest, scares me. I'm surprised he's still here, but it's the best. It's crazy. It's the best we have. Unbelievable. So they're looking to be staying. All right, here's more. Chelsea's plan for Mamadou Sarr. Sarr was bought for 14 million euros. With Strasbourg just 4 points off second place in Liga and on course to qualify for Europe, Chelsea are thinking about him staying on loan for a season so he can develop further. Yes, please. Just keep him there. There's no need to bring him in at this point. There really isn't. Is there anything revolutionary about him? I don't think so. So just keep him there. But again, let's clarify what the situation is looking like. So these are the likely to be 5 or 6 players making up the centre-back position next season. Colwill, Badiashile, Tosin, Acheampong, Fofana, and I guess we're signing one other player. Now, bearing that one in mind, right? Fofana is someone that we're going to be keeping simply because he's been in hospital more times than he's been on a pitch. And you simply cannot sell. That's just... Fofana is done. But there's going to be no logical club or board or manager that looks at Fofana and goes, oh yeah, I think we should sign him, because they know that's suicide. So we're stuck with him. There's PR that's being put out to make it look like, okay, Fofana's going to be the main centre-back. That's just going to try and we're just trying to bump his value up in any way, shape or form we can, because we haven't got anything else to do. There's no other way. The only way there is if he plays. He's not playing, he's injured all the time. Well, just PR the hell out of it and see what happens. You know? Yes, he's still our main guy. Any suitors now? No? Phone not ringing? Crap. We've got to find something else, lads. That's it. That's literally all it is. So, Fofana is toast, as far as I'm concerned. His body is just, look, I've looked at Reece James, you know, some of the other injuries that we've had, and I've gone, oh my God, this is crazy. I've looked at Lavia. You know, I'm actually surprised Reece James has played the amount he's played. I still think a time probably will come when he'll break, but I'm glad he's not. I'm glad he's still playing. Lavia, I think we put in the same category here, but you know what? Fofana is the worst. Not like these guys. Fofana is actually the worst one. I don't see anything for Fofana. So, we'll see. But that's the centre-back situation. Is it good enough? Personally, no. I'm still in the category that thinks we need 2 centre-backs. We need one, like a Dean Huijsen, no problem. I'm cool with that. But another, oh man, if we could just rock up to Inter Milan and go, yo, Bastoni, just Chelsea are interested. He'll be like, what? You know, back in the day, it would have been a no-brainer. We just walk to Inter Milan and go, listen, can we speak to Bastoni? And Bastoni will be like, oh my God, Chelsea are after me. Flipping Chelsea. Now it's, oh, Chelsea? No, tell them I'm not here. Tell them I'm not here. Tell them I'll call them back. And then they don't. Anyway, that's that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Make sure you're here later on for the preview to Chelsea vs Everton. And I will catch all of you then. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.